Welcome to Bakes and Blunders. Today we're going to be making Hing mango macarons. So we're going to have macaron shells filled with mango ganache, Hing mango coulis, and then we're going to dust our shells with Hing powder. Let's get started with that mango ganache. Add your mango puree to a small saucepan and heat over medium heat until it starts to bubble. To make the mango puree, I just blitzed some fresh mango in my mini food processor until it was smooth. Add the heavy cream to your hot mango puree and stir until it comes to bare simmer. You want it to be nice and hot but not boiling. You can find links to these recipes in the description box below this video. Pour the hot mango mixture over your finely chopped white chocolate. Stir to make sure the white chocolate and the mango mixture are completely incorporated. Make sure there's no white chocolate stuck on the bottom of your bowl. Use an immersion blender to perfectly emulsify and smooth out your mango ganache. You can find links to the products that I've used in the description box below this video. Once your ganache is smooth or very nearly smooth, you can add your corn syrup and your butter. Use your immersion blender again to make sure your mango ganache is completely smooth and emulsified. Now you can pour your mango ganache into a shallow bowl and press cling wrap directly onto the surface. Now you may notice that your mango ganache isn't actually perfectly smooth, and that's because we still have bits of mango in there. We didn't strain out any of the fibers or the pulp. It's perfectly okay like that though. Let your ganache cool on the counter to set up. I usually let mine sit for a couple of hours before I cover the bowl and put it in the fridge, and then make sure to bring your ganache back to room temperature before you fill your macarons. Let's move on to the Hing mango coulis. Start by blooming some gelatin in cold water and set that aside so it can do its thing. In a saucepan, combine mango, sugar, and lemon juice over a medium to medium-low heat, and you're going to cook until the frozen mango has thawed, and then you're going to increase the heat. Increase the heat to medium-high, and you're going to bring the mango mixture to a boil. As you're cooking the mango mixture, go ahead and mash and break up any large chunks of fruit that you can. Reduce the heat and simmer for about 10 to 15 minutes, stirring the entire time. Use a food processor or an immersion blender to puree the mango mixture until it is nice and smooth. There will probably still be some slightly larger chunks of mango in the mixture. I'm okay with that. If you want to sieve this, you could, but I really don't think that's necessary. Now add the bloomed gelatin to the hot mango mixture and stir until the gelatin is melted and completely combined. Since I wasn't sure how this mango coulis was going to taste once I added the Hing powder to it, I split my coulis into 2 equal portions and only added Hing powder to 1/2 of it. I added a 1/4 teaspoon of the powder at a time until I was happy with the flavor. Now, if you can't get your hands on Hing powder, it's okay. You can absolutely omit that from this recipe and you'll just have delicious mango macarons. And if you have no idea what Hing powder is and you'd like to learn more about it, make sure to read the blog post for these Hing mango macarons. There is a link in the description box down below. Now we can make the macaron shells. Combine your sugar and cream of tartar in a bowl, mix that until well combined, then you can add that to your stand mixer and add your egg whites. Immediately whisk this mixture until the sugar and the egg whites are completely evenly combined and distributed. Place over a double boiler and gently cook your egg whites for about 1.5 minutes until the sugar has dissolved. Pop your bowl back in the stand mixer and with a whisk attachment, begin whipping your egg whites. Slowly increase your speed up to a speed 6 on a KitchenAid and whip for about 5 minutes. Now I had mixed powdered color with my egg whites, which is why my meringue has this orangey brownish color right now. After 5 minutes on speed 6, check how your meringue is doing. It will not be ready, but then you're going to continue to whip on a speed 4, so just a little bit slower. And at this point, I like to check my meringue every minute just to see how it's coming along. There's no problem with constantly checking your egg whites. Once your meringue is at stiff peaks, you are ready to proceed to your macaronage. If you're enjoying this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe so you can see more of my videos. Add your sifted dry ingredients to your meringue and begin folding. At first, you don't want to knock out too much air. You want to focus on gently combining the meringue and the dry ingredients until they are a homogeneous mixture. Now, if you want to learn more about macarons and how I prepare my equipment and ingredients before I start a recipe, check out the video on your screen right now. I'll also put a link down in the description box. Once your macaron batter is well combined, there are no pockets of dry ingredients. Now you can focus on knocking out some of that air to get a nice smooth batter. At this point, I tend to stop roughly every 12 strokes just to check how my batter is doing and to scrape off any batter that is stuck to my spatula. You'll know that your macaron batter is ready when it flows off of your spatula in a thick, steady stream. It's not coming off in big globs. It's one smooth chain, but it's not running very fast. You'll often hear this referred to as flowing like lava. I know that's kind of a tricky description. Not many of us have seen lava flow in person. It just takes experience and time, and you'll get the feel of it. Pour your macaron batter into your prepared piping bag, and again, I cover this in my macaron prep video, and you are just about ready to start piping. Pipe your macarons one tray at a time and allow them to rest and dry until the macarons form a skin and you can gently touch them with your finger. You have a lot of options for how you prepare your baking sheet for macarons. My personal preference is to use a silicone baking mat that has a macaron template with a Teflon sheet on top. And I can see through the Teflon to the template, and this is just what's worked best for me. And for my piping tip, I like to use a small round nozzle. I believe this is a Wilton 12. That gives me the most control and helps eliminate some air bubbles when I'm piping. After piping, you can pop any air bubbles, wiggle out any bumps that you see in your macaron shells. Make sure to bang your tray to help loosen up those air bubbles. Then you can set them aside to dry. Now, I do not suggest that you sprinkle Hing powder on top of your macaron shells like I did. I didn't know how it would affect the shells, so I did not do all of them, and I'm glad that I didn't, because the Hing powder caused my macaron shells to volcano and explode. So, not cool. That's why if you're trying something new with macarons, do not do it on your entire batch. Once that skin has formed, you can bake your macarons. Let the macaron shells cool completely on the baking sheet before you remove them and put them on a cooling rack. To fill your macarons, pipe a ring of mango ganache around one macaron shell, then fill in the center with your Hing mango coulis. Top with a second macaron shell, and there you go. Now, I let my coulis set up in the fridge before I filled them, so it did get quite firm because of the gelatin, but I gave it a little stir and it doesn't seem like it, but it actually pipes real nice and then it sets real firm in the macaron. I like to let my filled macarons mature in the fridge overnight. This allows them time to firm up and they're easy to handle. Then I took these macarons and I just brushed the top with some more Hing powder to add even more flavor. These macarons are absolutely delicious with that fresh, juicy mango flavor, and then the Hing powder adds a sweet, salty, tangy vibe that just works so well with the mango. Thank you so much for watching this video today. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you want to learn more about macarons, see more of my macaron videos, check out the macaron playlist on your screen right now. I'll see you in the next video. Happy baking!